today we have an interesting topic. It's about why people might stop training handstand, and we're gonna react to a video that's called Why I Stopped Handstands.
I used to train the one-arm handstand very seriously from 2018 to 2020, and after 2 years of dedication, I'm proud to say I was able to do a 10-second straddle one-arm handstand quite consistently on my right side, not so much on my left. And
yeah, when I see the form here, the left side, the hips should be more diagonally like on the right side. It looks much better, but what I first see, just the hip position, you can tell if you had a little bit more side bend, like you can see here, it would be much easier. And I think in handstand, it's really not so much, you don't have to have the perfect strength to do it. You have to be on point with your positioning. And as you can see here, the hip position I just see from the start is not good. And this is also, a huge mistake, focusing on strength and not so much on technique. So technique in handstand is the way to go.
I was able to tick off this goal and be content with what I achieved with this exercise. When it comes to learning a one-arm handstand, it is not just twice as hard as a two-arm handstand, it is considerably harder. The reason for
Yeah, about 15 to 20 times harder is a one-arm handstand than a normal handstand.
that is on two hands, you've got forward to back balance mainly. When you go to one hand, you take away that base of support. You got forward to back, you got side to side, and you've also got rotation. Then you've got up the chain to worry about. You've got the rotation at your hips, and it is a really, really challenging movement. So I think it's important everyone understands the complexity of that next goal from 2 to 1. You need to respect it, and you know that it's going to take serious time and sacrifice to achieve.
What I found really useful is having a teacher and someone to guide me, and someone that I can reach out for to ask questions. That really helped me. And also what I wanted to mention is you should always train both sides, especially if you're going for the one-arm handstand, because you're probably into the progress like 2 or 3 years to have the first 10 seconds. And if you just train one side, you're gonna be really, really unhealthy. And it's also later on, it's much harder to have one strong side and one not so strong side. So I really recommend spending equal amount of time on both sides for your health. And also it's more likely that you will do it longer because you have a more healthy practice. And also I recommend starting with the bad side. It's more balanced if you train your weak side first and then go to your strong side. And I think this is also a really important detail, that you should be focusing your energy on bringing both sides equal to the same level. And of course, one side is always a little bit stronger, but I think if you have 10 seconds on one side and 0 seconds on the other side, you definitely did also, I think it's not so good training. Also, if you have just one side with 10 seconds and one side with 0 seconds, it's probably you just wanted to achieve the skill and feel it. But I think if you have 10 seconds on one side, your other side should be at least like in the range of 3 to 5 seconds. So really important, make sure you train both sides consistently, and also start with the weak side first, so you get the reps in there and make your weak side stronger and your stronger side maybe a little bit weaker, and it's gonna be more balanced overall over a long period of time.
To give you an example, in that 2-year period, I was doing handstands 5 days a week for around 1.5 hours. And when it comes to skill work,
yes, this is a reasonable amount, like 5 times 1.5 hours. This is nice. So you have 1 or 2 rest days, and this is a good healthy schedule for sure.
you have to be consistent with it. You have to have a high frequency. There's a lot of neurological learning through skill work that has to happen. Tons of drills, tons of repetition. It's a lot of time required in the sessions to make sure that it is quality and also quantity. What everyone needs to understand too is that When you see someone with a crazy one-arm handstand, chances are they specialize in it and they dedicate themselves to it. I think it's important with this social media age that everyone has a realistic understanding of what you can achieve relative to what you see. And for me personally, I was really proud with what I got to with the one-arm handstand, whilst also training calisthenics, while also doing flexibility, while also trying to build muscle size. And I feel that if I was to continue to try and progress in the one-arm handstand, you have to be sacrifices to be made. And that's just not something that I'm willing to do. So
I understand his perspective. The way I do it in my training, the first ring, I just do a little bit mobility. So nothing crazy, just like a little bit middle split and warming up my shoulders and joint. I think this is general for every also calisthenics athlete. And then I just warm up with the handstand. I do my one-arm handstand practice to warm up. So this takes maybe half an hour and an hour. And then I see calisthenics, handstand push-ups, front lever as part of my strength training. And with this flow, I feel really good. So I have like 5 balance sessions and then 1 or 2 strength sessions where I get my body weight training with some calisthenics exercises in it. So, and also when I do the one-arm handstand, after that, I'm really warmed up. I can do train the handstand push-ups, the planche, and for me this is a nice flow. I just use the one-arm handstand to really warm up my body, and then I move on later into the strength training. This is how I manage to get a good quality time out of my sessions. Yes.
So for me, my main audience are generalists. You watching Fitness FAQs, I know you want to build muscle, I know you want to get stronger, I know you want to build flexibility, and you also want to be able to have a base of handstands as well. You need to understand that in order to do everything, you have to sacrifice something, and that is often the extent of your progress. You might get to a one-arm handstand like me for 10 seconds, but you're not going to be able to do elite world-class hand balancing. Same thing if you're doing everything at once. You're not going to be the best looking in terms of muscularity. You're not going to be the strongest calisthenics athlete, but you're going to build little attributes of each. And the one-arm handstand really highlighted this for me personally. Basically, you can do anything you want within reason, but not everything to a really high level. I'm resigned to the fact that
Yes, like there are also like with the one-arm handstand, there's so much levels more to go. Even if you have like a really, really solid one-arm handstand. But I think it's a really good foundation to build up on. And it's also like once you got it, you have more times to spend on other skills also. Because the first years are the hardest. You have to have really focus and dedication, and then but you get more time back later on because it's easier to maintain. Once you have the first 10 seconds, there's your solid work is done. You have a solid foundation, and now you can take it a little bit easier, spend more times on other things. And and then maybe you want to learn different shapes, and then okay, you have to put a little bit more time into it. But I don't see it so much as strength training, and I like to separate my strength training and my handstand training. And also the strength training is really good for the handstand training as well, because you get stronger and you can hold it better, and also it's more healthy for the shoulders to have also some pulling exercises into it. That calisthenics for me, I also train a little bit of one-arm pull-up or front lever, and this is just for me, even though I do a lot of handstand, it's really important because I want to have a healthy body. And I feel if I only train handstand, it's not good for my body. So it's natural to include some strength trainings, for example, pulling and other stuff also in my hand training. It comes really natural to me. And yeah, but interesting video so far.
That I'm going to be respectable at handstands, but I'm not going to be world class. As long as if I have the ability to teach others and I'm happy with the level that I'm at, that's cool with me. Thank you very much for watching, Legends.
Yeah, for sure. But I would still say work on your left side. so you have both sides a little bit more balanced. Yeah, but you don't need to have to be the best in the world. For me, I often see if you love what you do and you can add value to other lives, you don't have to be the best into the sport, but just also work on your teaching. And if you are a great teacher, if you have 10 seconds and you like to spread your knowledge to other people, it's great. You don't have to have the best skill into one-arm handstand, for example, jumping on one hand to another hand. It's great if you can do it, but I think also it's a different skill of teaching people about what you can do. And then if you are the best, it doesn't mean that you are the best teacher. And I also like to spend my time also building my teaching skill up. And it's also, you pay a big price if you're the best in the world. I don't think it's super healthy. And I just also like to do it long term. So when I'm 50, 60, I still want to be able to do the one-arm handstand. And yeah, if you push really hard to be the best in the world, it's also, I think, a little bit toxic, because the amount that you push your body in the training, it can be really unhealthy. And the most important thing is that you have a sustainable, healthy training. And yeah, you don't have to be the best, but yeah, healthy and also be good at teaching others is really important skill to have, like how to stay healthy and how to bring joy and your passion to other people. And I think it's a really underrated skill. Yeah, anyways, thank you for watching.